You would think that Tina Kohler, the owner of a nonprofit medicinal society, would be elated with the new pot regulations in Vancouver. But she's worried and says a $30,000 yearly licensing fee is unfair.
Casino, for example, only has to pay $11,000 to operate. A liquor store only has to pay $2,500. I think it's really out of line. I just think the city is out to make money here, and it's really going to affect a lot of people.
And all 11 votes in, 8 in favor, 3 opposed.
The vote passed despite the federal government's vehement disapproval because over-the-counter marijuana sales are still illegal in Canada. The city justifies this, saying it's not regulating product, just the business, in order to deal with an explosion of pot shops from 20 to 100 in just a few years.
I just want to say in response to that to Minister Ambrose, wake up. You are completely out of touch with the realities on the ground. The policies that you're advocating are backward and destructive.
Federal Health Minister Rumina Ambrose said she's deeply disappointed by the city's decision to regulate illegal marijuana storefronts. These stores have absolutely no regard for the rule of law and have been caught selling marijuana to kids. We expect the police to enforce the law.
Very curious as to what they choose to do next, but we've taken action when there's a huge gap. There's no action being taken by the federal government, and we need to regulate these dispensaries. We just can't let it be a free-for-all.
The city stands to make millions off the $30,000 yearly licensing fee. The only pot shops to get a break under the new rules, compassion clubs. Their fee, $1,000. All marijuana stores have to be located 300 meters away from schools, community centers, and each other.
So is this the battle that we want to have? Do we want to spend potentially millions of dollars of taxpayer dollars fighting in the courts on many, many different fronts?
I think Health Canada, if it was allowed to do its job, like we allow our staff to do their job, they would come up with something very similar and something practical and something helpful.
I think if you look at other municipalities, their police forces went out as shops opened and did close them down one by one by one, and that's why they weren't in the situation that Vancouver is in.
All right, Rumina, let's talk about police response here. Rumina, of course, joining us live at Vancouver City Hall tonight. What are police saying about the decision?
Well, nothing from the RCMP, at least, Chris. They were saying today that they are not commenting, and when I asked in an email why they're not commenting, there was no response. As far as the provincial justice minister Susanna Anton, she basically said nothing and is waiting for more details. And the VPD is saying that, this is illegal, but it's the city's decision. And when it comes to drug enforcement in this city, they've got much bigger issues dealing with violent offenders. So still not clear what's going to happen on a police front, given the federal minister of health is saying that they expect police to enforce this. Back to you.
All right. Another gray area, or a continuing gray area, I guess, as we continue in our coverage. Thanks very much, Rumina.